What are you doing?
I need attention.
Oh my god.
Ugh. You're just jealous, Dee Dee. You don't know how to roll. Hello everyone, I'm Steve. Mark's out at the moment, and this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. It is the weekend. We know what that means. Iced coffee with a little whole milk. It's not bad. It's getting hot. So why am I wearing a hat? Whatever. So I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's safe. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Today we're going to check in again on our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, Chantopolis, The Chantal Show, and it goes and goes. But we're back at Foodie Beauty again. So when we checked in last week, we talked about the men of her boudoir. There's roughly half a dozen men in orbit who are just dying to meet her and sleep with her, and they come at her beck and call. Traveling? We found out going to Turkey. She might be going to Turkey. She booked going to Turkey. She booked herself a nice 12-hour flight. Be careful you don't throw a clot. Just saying. We talked about Shannon's health concerns that she had last week. She was going through some mental health concerns, I believe, and had reached out to Chantal. And Chantal said, I'm too involved with everything about me, and I can't really talk to you. I got a lot going on. And, Chantal shared that information, and then she shared her information, and then French Fred Girl showed up. BBJ being put down for convenience sake. That came up last week, too. BBJ is one of her cats. It's a senior cat. It wouldn't qualify, or it wouldn't be ideal for rehoming. But if she's going to be traveling for long, extended periods of time, she thinks it's best to kill the cat, so she doesn't have to worry about it. Not kill it, just refuse veterinary care until the only decision left is to put him down. Which, you might as well kill him. So today, we'll be covering a couple points. Mark will be joining us for his update of what's going on Twitter and what's new in the news. We're going to cover Chantal, the comforting confidant, a little bit more about the Shannon business. Blows off a 20-year friendship. Well, she does. She'll chase a man and say she never wants to see him again and would prefer his company to that of family and friends. So she'll blow off a friend of 2 decades to spend 10 months squatting in a guy's house because it was snowing. It was snowing. And then a little bit about, she's Vixen, portrait of a woman. I think that's from the Golden Girls. That was Blanche's sisters. Let's see. Leaving YouTube. That's the other part I wanted to cover. So, Shannon and French Fry Girl. Okay. To put it out there, I've had minimal communication with Shannon, and it was pleasant. Perfectly pleasant. I know she's watched before, and her business with Chantal comes up as business on Chantal's channel, but this isn't, us reacting to her, it's us reacting to Chantal and her content. So, Shannon disclosed to Foodie Beauty that she was seeking some acute mental health care. Okay. This is a good thing, because if she needed it, she should go. Believe me, I've seen the inside of a psych ward 5 or 6 times. There's times it's appropriate, because you need to be safe. And I'm assuming Shannon goes for different reasons than Chantal. Chantal goes for attention. Shannon might be there for actual help. So, we'll see. She couldn't support her. She was not well. And it could be triggering to Chantal to listen. To listen! Not even to read a text from a friend. Because, they did coke at a party 20 years ago. So that means Chantal's still paying her back for something. I don't know where. I have friends of 20 years, but it's like, we didn't act like that in high school. We also didn't have drama games and we didn't have smartphones when I was in high school. So that's, it's a little different. So, Chantal and her growing pains. Other people get frustrated when she vents on YouTube because it's the same thing over and over and over. It's, I'm never going to talk about Nader again. Now let's talk about Nader. It's, let me dip into a land of fantasy, which is nicer than my reality. Eat an edible or two. Or rage out of spite because Dee Dee is on with her life and doing other things, and you think she's jealous of you. Of course, all the haters are jealous. No one, people with real money don't count what Chantal makes as money. And you shouldn't live paycheck to paycheck when you make in a month probably half of what a lot of people make in a year, maybe more than that. So that's a little bit of leverage she tries to hold back. You wish you were me because I can travel and I can do this. Yeah, but I don't have to do it at 400 pounds. And I don't have to waste 5 days of a holiday thinking about a guy who doesn't know if I'm alive or dead. Not to be off topic. Growing pains, maturity, all that kind of stuff. Nothing Chantal will reveal will make anybody go, oh my god, she was such an innocent victim. In the context of her DV and SA stuff that was going on. She is the perpetual victim. She also cries wolf. So if she found herself in some trouble with Nader, where she felt, as she did, like going to the police, again, that's another leverage move. She wrote up charges. To have charges against Nader, so that he won't go near her. She was the one showing up at the door in the middle of the night, blasting music at 4 a.m. to Melissa Etheridge. You know, there's fine details here that shouldn't be missed, which is that the stalking end of it happened from Chantal. If anybody was calling the other person 1,000 times, dragging their name up online and everything, and feeling justified because you're mean to me, so I'm going to destroy you socially, knock it off. That's so... I mean, I know YouTube's your job, so you have to kind of, you know, deal with the pettiness of it and kind of play the game, sort of. But striking channels that talk about you, that's not going to stop. More people will replace them. Just like you'll have new Beezers, there'll be new reactors. It's not going to go away at all. There was a bunch of channels I watched when I started talking about Chantal. Half of them don't exist anymore. You know, they're just not there. There's a lot of fish in the pool. So... And so, goes on. Again, Chantal's not over it with Nader, or Dee Dee for that matter. She rages about them all day long. Now, they have different kinds of jobs, Nader's being none, and Dee Dee may be working a 9 to 5, I don't know. And what Dee Dee puts up with and will take in her relationship, I'll talk about on their channel if I want to. But it has more to do with Chantal feeling superior to two people who basically gave her the okie doke and said, you're out. You're out. Unless you're paying for something, don't come back. You know, and she has money like that, so she could control. Still, that's her leverage. That's her leverage with a lot of things, is her money. Again, people who have like Boku bucks don't think what Chantal makes. I don't make what Chantal makes, but I'm not confused about my place in the food chain when it comes to, you know, economic class and whatnot. So... she was going to have one last rage for Dee Dee and Nader. There will never be a last video about those two. Never. She'll see something in the supermarket that was like, you know, an eggplant, and she'll go, eggplant Bob Ganoush, Nader, I miss him. I should just start seeing him again without telling anybody, and if they ask, I didn't lie, I changed my mind. Okay. She tries to make herself look like the innocent party between these three, Dee Dee, Nader, and she tries to triangulate it as they're out to get me. They're out to this, that. They're living their lives going on. And if you don't like what's on their channel, don't watch their channel. You would say the same thing to us, and it would be in the same spirit. So if you don't want to upset yourself, don't watch. If you're an emotional masochist, have fun. But you can't complain about emotional turmoil when you're all over it like a cheap suit. Okay? And so her thing with Nader is pretty much over as far as their relationship hasn't changed. If they're screwing on the side, some guy gives you a social disease twice, that says to me you really respect yourself a lot. A whole lot. I'll leave the abuse aside because that's something more serious than just playing reindeer games on social media when you're 40. When you're 40. Okay, you have 2 more years to be a child. But then 40 hits, you know... For all any of us know, not just you, because health problems attributed to, never mind. Any of us could go at any time. There's no knowing when the day is going to be our day. or that this was the last morning I was going to have, and that the afternoon is, well, if it doesn't happen then, it'll happen tomorrow. People die, and people who are obese die faster. They do. You don't see a lot of 75-year-old, 500-pound people because bodies give out. I was obese. I was morbidly obese. I was also extremely underweight, marginally anorexic, and definitely bulimic. So I have a fucked up relationship with food too. And it indicates a fucked up relationship with myself. Well, for me, that's what it meant. And I was like, everything's cool. I think this is from Lily. Who's the girl? She's from England. Sun is in the sky, oh why. That one. She had said it was a lyric in her song, everything's cool as long as I'm getting thinner. Now in Chantal's case, it's as long as the filters hold out. It's her prerogative. If she doesn't think she's pretty and wants to throw on filters, that's fine. There's people out there that think she is gorgeous. There's people out there that think she looks like a Florida ditch pig. But that's just their impression of how she looks. But she doesn't have like an in-out. She's always reading the room. Where do I stand? Who could I take power over? That sounds extreme. Take influence over. Like Roman, for example, who is now serviceable. So he's not digging for attention and clout anymore. Somebody else is. Somebody else who can't understand why they've dropped hundreds of subs. And more than that percentage in viewers and people that are watching. I don't do full-time YouTube. I know she does, and she'll say, I know you guys, but this is my job. Your job, it requires very little effort. And should she lose YouTube and not come back, I think it'll be a smack in her smug face to try to be like, you know what? You're not as rich as you think you are. You're not as attractive as you think you are. You don't have to hate yourself, but you gotta understand, when people feel lied to or they feel like shit, only a handful of idiots will keep showing up for that. The Beezers. They'll come back. They'll be back. They always are. Anyway, is paying for sex for people who don't like you really a flex? I could buy any man I want. Oh, great. That says I'm not enough on looks and personality alone, so just take my money. It's a lot easier, a lot more transactional, and you don't have to use the fat filters so that when you show up, you look like a Picasso of yourself. Some of these filters are wild. We had last week played with a couple so that I would have like flawless skin, and distortion everywhere. And I've seen her filters go in and out. When you see Chantal on her camera versus Pete's, she's not the weight she says she is because she doesn't look like she was at the weight she says she is. When she was getting down there with the nose candy, she lost a lot of weight. She says it was the Ozempic. Okay. So, whatevs. We still have a little bit of a runny nose here and there sometimes. So, that's interesting because it doesn't necessarily match up Chantal with Nader as far as substance use. She said initially she almost liked the party lifestyle with Nader more than she liked the relationship itself. And that was a nice defense to keep hanging around. But when the party's over, and the penicillin's coming in, and there's light pats, I guess, on the face, I don't know. If you can't do better, don't do worse. So, last rage. That's it. And then we're going to hear more. And now since we're going to Turkey, okay? I have a couple thoughts about turkey as well. Not the bird. And it's not about turkey, actually. Now, we're talking about her traveling. Apparently, it was signed, sealed, delivered. Then it turned into, I'm going to do everything in my power to get there. What's going to happen is she has a companion who's either going with her or she's going by herself and meeting a person there. This will not turn out well. Flying to Istanbul to meet a friend there. Let's see, a naive woman with a lot of money and no self-esteem who will drop her pants at the first sign of a guy who even looks at her twice. Dignity. No dignity, no doubt. Okay? So she paid, she says, to go to Turkey, an extra $400 so she could fly direct, I guess, from Ottawa to Istanbul. We all have different health concerns. Does anybody else think she could be problematic for her to get on a plane for 10 hours, 12 hours? she can't even sit still for that long. She doesn't even sleep that long. I don't think she's going to make it. They only serve so many drinks on the plane. She'd be better off to take a cruise, honestly. But, because I wouldn't want to sit next to her. And there was the issue of, does she have to buy 2 seats? I guess 3 if she's taking a companion. She thinks it's unfair and unreasonable, to have to accommodate her with extra straps and stuff. But Chantal's body is bigger than most people's. It's bigger than the folks who are normally flying. And was having a bit of a conversation with a friend about, she wanted to travel to Japan and other places that were on her list. East Asia, especially from, the company I keep, is not built for fat folks. It's not something, it's not one of those cultures like some of the others where fat is viewed as a symbol of prominence and pride and richness, but it doesn't mean any of those things. Upping the cost on her flight to fly one way, but then also saying that she might have a stopover somewhere. They don't tell you that when you get on the plane. You usually know before you go for that whole thing. And of course, she makes more than 10 grand a month. Why she wouldn't be going to Turkey? If there wasn't a man going with her or waiting for her, I don't think she was going to go. And the funniest comment I saw about that was, you better bring a dozen MacBooks if you're going to try to get dates while you're in Istanbul. Make sure you bring a few, like in Cuba, the guy she slept with in exchange for electronics. Because a lot of people do that on vacation. A lot of people do. I don't... Nadar and Didi are not jealous that you're going to Turkey at all. I can get in when I want. There's more of this overblown, I can get whatever I want. Well, if you'll take anything you can get, sure, I guess. I could go trolling and try to find someone, but, I have dignity. There's good things about me that a partner would like in me. I'm employed, I have transportation, I have a good job. I'm not a nightmare of selfishness. So I can do all the big grown-up things, like rent a place and all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't mean I carry around, I'm an infant, toddler for the rest of my life. Carrying on online, complaining about Beezers, then complaining nobody's there, saying I don't give an F if I have 5 subscribers. And then she does, and then goes, where is everybody? Did it not have an alert go out? When you continuously treat people like shit, a handful of people will stay to put up with it. But then the people who remember them before they were dumb maybe reach out and say, hey, why are you still, she was really rude to you. She blocked you even after you paid. Why do you still, show up? And they sound to me like enabling parents, like when I've been in rehab and stuff like that. Parents who, she can do no wrong. She can do no wrong. It must be a mistake, an accident, or a misunderstanding if she says something really vicious, really volatile. And if you call her on it, we're in a post-truth kind of world now, where you can look dead in the camera, say something, 20 minutes later come back and say, all 10 million of you got it wrong. You all misunderstood me. What are the odds? Well, any of us would say something incorrect, potentially insulting, anything like that. Any one of us, could have our channel look like that. I don't think any of us want to, though. Attention, like we rolled into at the beginning, is something she craves. She's not getting enough of. Hence the black outfit and Pete's filming her rolling down the hill. Undies all hanging out. She wasn't getting enough attention. If she's not going to be a goofball, she's going to be a bitch. If she's not going to be a bitch, she's going to be stoned. If she's not going to be stoned, she's going to be ranting about people who have better lives than hers. She thinks everyone's jealous. I wouldn't want her body. I wouldn't want her house. It smells. I wouldn't want a friend who would cancel on me for a guy they don't know and then tell me I'm being selfish by wanting to reach out to them. It's not the kind of friend I'd want to have or keep. You can buy companions, but you can't buy friends. You can't. It happens or it doesn't. You muddy the waters when you throw in part and parcel of, I pay my way for my friends. This flies me right back to high school and the chubby girl that my friend was dating, and we only hung out with her because she had a van and she could drive. So we want to go to the movies, want to go to a restaurant on a Friday night. None of my friends could drive. None of us had a car. Invite her. She'll drive. Because anything to get approval, to get attention, to help out, to be seen in a favorable light. So as the week kind of progressed, I'd say about midweek, we get a post about She's leaving YouTube. Bye. You know, she wants people to be, no, come back. We're upset. And they throw it around like if her channel was taken. Any person who has a larger channel that has reactors who might not be so favorable of them. You know, I'm sure many of them want to go back and snipe things. Snipe. Misuse of the word. From me, I shouldn't be doing that. It came from the gameplay community. And it has to do with, I don't know, nothing to do with her. At all. She says at this point, because she'll be going on other platforms or anything, she wants somebody to come in, let her know if someone's streaming her content, and Chantal will go and shut them down, or she'll sign off real quick. Yeah, go in and out of your account, sign in and out real quick. That's, you know... And so, yeah, so in leaving YouTube, she tied up all the loose ends. Okay, she didn't. She took a nap. And within 8 hours or less, she was back up on YouTube. I was just having a tantrum. I don't know what I want. Aren't I silly when I degrade people? You know, and tell them they don't matter and that they're losers and they're ugly and they're old and don't body shame me, motherfucker. Okay, honey. So anyway, suffice it to say, she didn't leave YouTube. She came back, and one of the things that came back with her was, jacuzzi, anyone? Hot tub, anyone? So someone who used to chase her for clout, according to her, and was obsessed with her, Roman, I believe his name is. She met up with him once to hang out, talk, make out. She said he couldn't keep his hands off of her. It's fucking obvious for how little he is. He couldn't get his hands around her. So they hung out. She said he was clout chasing, thinks he's famous because of me. No one would know you without me. Yeah, probably not. So all those nasty things you said when everything else drained out, you're going to take him and get in a jacuzzi and invite people for a jacuzzi party. It's too much easy bait for a big girl in a jacuzzi to crack jokes about. It's just endless. But, you know, she'll play the game she did with everyone else. If she shows up fat because she used so many filters and the guy is not a fan of super morbidly obese women, and there's nothing wrong with them if they're not. People have preferences, redhead, curly hair, someone older, someone younger, that kind of thing. I don't know about her bisexuality kind of playing into all of that. I mean, I guess when you're like Amberlynn, women will put up with more shit. You can turn a female partner into an enabler fast. You see it on 600 Pound Life sometimes, and they'll have a partner, same sex, even though they may have had other ones in the past. And for Chantal, it's novelty. Oh, God, you're not helping it. Your odds of sleeping with a woman are no better than a man. Unless you show up with money. You could show up with a good personality. You could show up being interested to in the conversation. But if you'd rather pay and live out the boyfriend experience for 6 hours and have them cuddle and pretend to say nice things, and it's supposed to be just a one-off thing, then the phone starts ringing. They're at your door in the middle of the night. They're peeking in your windows. They're blasting Melissa Etheridge songs outside. And then when that doesn't get the person's attention, gaslight Beezer into calling the police. Somebody's going to call them. You might as well come down and see me. The cops came, left, and said, basically, get the hell out of here. She didn't even get her whole CPAP. You know, the CPAP she can't live without, she can't sleep without, and she can't do anything without, which gets left here and there. She left it at Nader's a few times for the excuse of going back. That's the kind of thing. She'll leave her purse, leave her wallet, leave the, you know. People know that. On Nader's side, I don't know about Dee Dee's, he knows that she's a mess. They met each other's match when the two of them met each other. You know, I think each thought the other they'd be able to blow right over. Nader thinking, she'll take what she can get. I'll whisper sweet nothings in her ear and she'll give me money. That's kind of what actually happened. There is no other thing. That's exactly what happened. And to continue to enjoy his company, you will need to continue to pay. A lot of marriages are built on a foundation of lopsided resources and humiliation and online shaming and all that. It's beautiful, beautiful. Put it in the vows. Oh. OnlyFans. Okay, so our fair lady is on OnlyFans. She was before, and when she first joined forever ago, what was it forever ago in Chantal time? I guess it was $5. And I had signed up, Mark and I had signed up at the time, to just have access to all her material. You know, there wasn't, I guess, a guarantee that she would get naked and do stuff, but that's kind of the climate OnlyFans is. You know, you don't go on there usually and make recipes. You know, some people do. But she upped the price to $20 a month. Now, I felt gypped when we paid for $5. Granted, like, suffice it to say we didn't get it for 2 months. She made 3 still photos and maybe a sexy video, no nudity, no nothing, and nothing else. And when people had comments on it, she said, well, you paid for the month. I didn't promise the whole month's worth of content. So a few at the beginning of the month, just to feel like you're not screwing people over, and then later let it go. It's like our postcards. Anybody out there get a postcard yet? From faraway lands like Burger King? That's a straight has anybody gotten one at all? And then she was going to send them from local places. There was supposed to be a postcard club abroad. And she'd be traveling to all these places and sharing a bit of her greatness with them in a few words. But the more money she brought in for the club, the more people came in. And now she's like, oh, it seems like a lot of work to write 700 postcards. Maybe I can just get them done or something. It's upping the price on OnlyFans. It's like you just, rather than build a subscriber base, let's just milk the fuck out of anybody who's still dumb enough to be here. We'll do that. There's always going to be a feeder who flies in and out and promises to pay for an Uber Eats and a private chat, I'm sure. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes as a plus-sized woman if she's doing adult stuff. Though people might not even recognize her, though, because she looks completely different when she puts all that stuff on. So anyway, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go from here. There's not much different than last week, except there's a few more little hitches. You know, Roman's back, and then Turkey. I didn't think Cuba was going to happen, so maybe Turkey will. I don't know. It's less likely to happen because I don't think she can make the flight. I don't think she can do it. She'll get 2 seats because she has to, because the world isn't built for 400-pound people. If you're that large to the point where you're handicapped by your choices, then, you know, you might be able to find something more comfortable on the flight or let them know ahead, or you can board early before everybody else does so you can save some dignity. There's options for big folks to travel. And so you don't have to stay, you know, and get your 2 seats and travel alone. So it's done. It's the thing people do. But she's never going to make it 12. She's never going to make it there. She'll never make it there. And if she does, she'll start a new life because she will never be able to get back out, probably. Some countries in the Middle East and in other areas of the world, guys like me get chucked off the roof. However, I can sort of separate that from other aspects. That's vicious and that's evil to me. But there's other parts of culture within the same culture that aren't as jarring to me. Like, yes, they have this legal system and this moral system, but they also have food, and there's religious things you can visit. You know, it's a very European-y, Asian-y kind of thing where the East meets West. So it would be a very cool thing to see. And I'm wondering if because Turk is in her life, all of a sudden, kaboom. Now it's going to be Turk's just jealous. His girlfriend's jealous. His dog is jealous. The cat's making faces at me. I've had it for now. Let's find out what's going on in real time, okay? Mark?
Of course I will. Yes, I will. Hey, everybody. How are you? Nice to see you. I'm spilling my coffee on me. Okay, so I'm here to tell you all about what everybody's talking about over on the Twitter. Okay, let's get started, shall we? So, first of all, and most recently, y'all, Chantal got attacked by a condiment packet. Hello. Oh, I just love it, don't you? And people are talking about it. Oh, yes, they are. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? She kind of reacted to it real lightheartedly and just laughed it off like it was funny. And that was good to see. At least she still has a little sense of humor left in her, right? A momentary break from the madness, huh? Definitely funny. Loved it. Okay, next. Miss FB is broke, y'all. She's broke. Oh, I don't know. And, you know, I guess people are talking about this too. They're talking about everything from, well, how can a person who says they make $20,000 or more a month just on YouTube alone be broke at the middle of the month? And I have to agree with that. But hey, there are millionaires that go broke, so what the heck do I know, right? She's even gone to the extreme of wanting to sell jarred farts. Yeah, that's real classy, right? I don't know. My only advice on this is that, well, nobody take financial advice from Miss FB, okay? Okay. And moving right along, FB is a little upset, everybody. She's a little upset. Her feathers are ruffled, let me tell you. She's going on a tirade against reaction channels and snipers. She is threatening to leave YouTube. She's threatening to end her streams the second a sniper comes on. And yes, people are talking about this too. As one person pointed out, that would be Mrs. Flupa Booty. Love the name, by the way. She says, I see the empty threats to stop streaming are falling flat, yet the tantrums continue. And I just have to say, love that artwork. Definitely. Oh, yes, over on the other side of the cheeseburger, Mr. Nads himself is still trying to live out his dreams and delusions of grandeur of becoming a TV chef, right? And just like Foodie Beauty, he is going after reaction channels left and right, threatening them, striking them, and as one person pointed out, this is Juliet R., someone at YouTube actually has to read and review all of these strikes and appeals. Great way to call attention to yourself, right? Parentheses, moron. Okay, that was funny. Love that. Yes, it is a great way to attract attention to your own channel, right? And for a person who breaks terms of service as much as FB herself, well, just saying, right? Well, we all can just hope that both of their channels get struck, right? Oh, would I love to see that. Okay, so finally, my favorite quote of the week, and this is from Mary Beth. Just love it. Foodie Beauty finally finds the beauty. And this is in reference to one of her latest community posts, which says, beauty begins the moment you choose to be happy with yourself. Now, if this was put up by, well, pretty much anybody else, I would say, oh, that was so nice. But coming from her, my only advice would be, I think she should probably listen to what she's posting. I think we would see an all new, different Chantal if she would get a little happiness, a little respect for herself. Do you agree? Can I get a hands up on that one? All right. Thank you so much for listening to me yap away. That's what everybody's talking about on Twitter this week. Oh, it's so fun doing that, and I'm happy that you're enjoying it too. Do you have anything else to add, Steve?
Yeah, I think we're just gonna wrap from here.
All right. Well, here I
you,
will
Mark.
give you your chair back.
Well,
Bye,
bye everybody.
Thank you, Mark, as always, keeping us abreast of what's happening in real time.
You're welcome.
In Foodie Beauty world, it's really a good thing to have. You need archives, you need assistants, you need a lot of stuff to try to keep up, and I only do her. So thank you all for coming. Where's the next week gonna go? I don't know. More about Turkey? More about Nader? She's definitely not going to talk about them again, right? We'll see. I'm not optimistic about Turkey happening, but I wasn't optimistic about Cuba, and that happened. So as far as keeping her word, she's done it exactly once. Okay.
Well, I'm personally excited about looking at the inside of a Turkish hotel for a week.
Yeah, me too. She really should. She's not going to do any research on local custom, what's appropriate, what nothing. She's not going to do any of that, even if she does go. Plus, it's for a dick, so someone's either meeting her there or she's going with. And that's her. You know, she can do that if it's her only option other than being alone. I would maybe think about it too. You know, so we will see. Going into next week. Hey, Pete's, I see you. How are you doing? Did you ever get that mental health treatment back in gear? It could only help. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll get alerts when we have new videos and when we go live. You can follow us on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Email address and contact information is all listed below as well. Thank you again, and we will catch you tomorrow night. We are going live at 6 p.m. Eastern for our regular Sunday live. About an hour, pretty low key. Different topics, open topics, whatever. Come and lurk. You're more than welcome. So thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Mark.